that's water. Hello, friends. It's Lil Lum, and I'm here with your helpful art tips. I'm excited to tell you, the first art tip that I have for you today is never set your paint water next to your coffee water because you run the risk of drinking one of them, and you got a 50-50 chance. So be careful. No, that's not my tip for the day. My tip for today is much more significant, but I'm actually excited to hear what you have to say about this as well. So looking forward to your feedback. Did you ever feel like you've run out of ideas, or that you have you don't know where to start? Maybe you're lost, you're not inspired. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever? I have. Even I, Lil Lum, your humble teacher, run out of ideas and struggle with inspiration. So I wanted to address that today. And I don't know, for some of you, this may feel like repeat or preaching to the choir. I don't know, but I thought it was important to bring up. Anybody with us?
Pugs for Life, Helena, and Mary H. Griffin.
Oh, right. Okay, so we got the right people here. Can I just say that right now? The right people.
We have one person left now, right
they
after
left?
I said that.
Wow, okay. All right, kids. They're like, listen, I never run out of ideas. All right, here's the deal. You're cruising along. You're making art like crazy, and then all of a sudden you're like, I got artist block. Is that even a thing? I've heard it said by a lot of writers. Okay, and I want to repeat it here for visual artists. And I think this goes for anybody in any creative field or any endeavor to communicate something that is significant, deep, or personal. And that is when you run out of ideas and when you are not feeling inspired, then sometimes you just have to get to work. Oh man, now everybody's going to leave because I feel like I'm saying something like that may not be very popular because everybody feels like the artist has to be like the constantly divinely inspired mediator of creativity. And it's just not the case. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a process that we use in class. And obviously, if you are a student, I think this would be helpful for you. If you're one of my students, you might have heard me say this before, but don't leave. Don't leave. Stick around. All right. Here's the deal. For any process, you need to have some steps. And I'm going to break it down from a visual art perspective right now, but I think you can apply this to anything. The first step, hey, do you like, this is what I made, a 30-second continuous blind contour drawing of Mr. Thornton from the coffee house last night.
Handsome man.
A very handsome man he is. Now listen, he actually, I would say his drawing is probably more spot on than mine. So he did a fantastic job. I was excited to co-host with him last night. It was very fun. I hope you had a chance to see it. All right, so we're going to start with step one in the creative process. And I call that an idea web. It's just like a brainstorm. It's like a self-brainstorm. You could always do this with somebody else, but I want to break it down. So you start with a central idea. You love that handwriting, don't you? Mm-hmm. So I put a central idea. What am I going after, right? So I'm feeling uninspired. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to pick something. It's almost irrelevant what you pick. Try to pick something that's been floating around in your head, maybe a question you have or something you're wrestling with. Write it down, circle it, and then start to branch off some ideas. Now again, is anybody here?
One person. Probably Helena. That would be my bet.
See, this would be so much more interactive if I could ask you. So if I started with the central idea of let's go with flowers. Yesterday was Earth Day.
Oh, it's Pugs for Life that's here.
All right, Pugs, listen. I need you right here. I'm going to start. Well, let's start with this. Pugs. All right? Our central idea is pugs. So what do you think of when you think of pugs? You got something for me?
Pugs for Life. You better have something.
Yeah, you got to have something.
Have
Come on, Pugs.
Good. You are Pugs
yeah,
for
use
life.
those magic thumbs to type right now as fast as you can. What do you think? You got it? No? Nothing?
Nothing yet.
All right, listen. Then I'll come up with my own pugs. When I think of pugs, I think of, obviously, dogs.
Squishy face.
Is that what he said?
That's what
All right.
he said.
Squishy face. Boom. What else? Anything else? I think of, I'm going to use the word, now hopefully this is not an offense, stubby.
Stubby.
Okay.
It's okay. You can use the word stubby.
Stubby. And what else?
Your mom is here.
Oh, that's so nice. When I think of a pug, I think of a tiny thing. Pugs are kind of tiny. They're cute. Okay. So all I'm doing is I'm just writing down these words and I'm circling them. So these are little sub branches or sub
Your mom
ideas.
says hi.
Hi, Mom. Thanks for joining me today. Live on the Instagrams. I'm wearing a sweater you made me.
Again.
How does it look? Looks good. Okay. So once you have these secondary branches, then you can start branching off from there. Now, we started with the idea of pugs for our central idea. We branched off to cute, and from cute, we could go to, like, Lord knows, we could just go to kittens, right? Now, I don't know if that's socially acceptable. We went from dogs to cats really quick there. What else is cute? Oh, you know what? Chipmunks.
Your mom says that your next sweater is almost done.
Thanks, Mom. What kind of idea web did you make when you thought about my sweater? Did you have an artistic or creative process when you did that? I don't know. You know what? You know who your central idea was? Me. I was your central idea.
Dear Lord.
Right? Okay.
Didn't you say humble earlier?
Man. Okay. All right. So we've got this idea web going, and the idea here, doing an idea web idea. The idea is to get as many thoughts out. Okay. There's no sort of rule other than a free flow of thought. I would take like 15 minutes on this at least and dive into where do these different ideas take you? Kind of a stream of consciousness thought process. Even the bad ideas need to get out, right? Don't think about, I'd never use this idea. Like, I'll never have a cat. Why would I want to think about cats? I just don't. I'm not a cat guy. I'm a dog guy. But I got to get it out, right? I got to get the good ideas and the bad ideas out so I know how to start figuring things out. All right.
Oh, that was a great dance move.
Yeah. All right.
Your mom also says that yes, love was her creative process. So
good. Love is a great process. Okay, so now we have the idea web out of the way. We're going to go on to the stage that I refer to as notes and doodles. This is kind of where the sketchbook comes in, right? If you maintain a sketchbook, a lot of this comes out. And by the way, you can do this in any format you want. I'm just using printer paper that I have, and this could be done in a sketchbook, or this could be done, you could do it like fold a piece of paper up. Let's work on the backside. Let's be Earth Day-ish.
That was yesterday.
Save the planet. I know, but every day should be Earth Day, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that, an environmentalist.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to make some notes here, right? I'm thinking about this idea of cute kittens, like 30 cute kittens in a row. Or how about this? 30 cute kittens.
We forget letters in between.
I have my own special shorthand that I use. My handwriting is not designed for you to read. It's designed for me. It's like a system that I have. It's really official. How about in a basket, right? So now I'm making notes, and I'm like, how would you want to see 30 cute kittens in a basket? And I'm just trying to get the ideas out there. I literally do this daily for everything. I forget everything, and so before I go to bed, I sort of do a mind dump onto the page that includes both pictures or notes.
Jonathan James is here.
Oh, Jonathan. Sorry, I'm not.
Save this.
I'm sorry, I'm not outside cooking for you right now. I know you. Did you come yesterday when I was cooking outside?
No.
Dude, I had 2 great campfire episodes, and
missed them both.
You missed them both. I'm sad, but listen, just quick notes, right? This is some notes from last night. Keep it in a book. Keep it on a sheet. Start making notes and doodles to process those ideas that you have into something more formal. Now,
watched them on YouTube. So
thank you. Yes, I know, and you commented, and I'm so thankful. You are like my #1 commenter, other than Tom and the other bots out there on the YouTubes. Okay.
Luke Art is here.
Luke, what took you so long? I'm going through the creative process right now. What do you do, Luke?
He probably just woke up.
I'm sure he did. Let me ask both of you. Jonathan, you're a photographer. Luke, you're a painter. Mom, you're a knitter, a craftsperson, a sewer, a jack of all trades. When you run out of ideas, what do you do then? Okay, and so that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a creative process. We talked about idea webs, so brainstorming. We talked about bringing those kind of disparate ideas into sort of coalescing thought. And now we're going to move towards, for visual, right? If you're a visual artist, you want to find your composition. And that's what I call thumbnail drawings.
Mia Cox also joined us.
Hi, Mia. Mia, did you know that one time when I asked students to make thumbnail drawings, I think this maybe says more about me than anything, but I asked students to make a series of thumbnail drawings of a still life, and one student actually turned in 5 drawings of their actual thumb. That I don't, I mean, it's probably, I didn't explain it well. I just sort of assumed that people knew what a thumbnail drawing was. My bad. So what is a thumbnail drawing? Well, a thumbnail drawing is a tiny little drawing, and I usually advise my students to keep them in the sort of 2-inch by 3-inch range.
Mia says, wow, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
And Luke says that he goes outside and he looks at trees, he looks at clouds, shadows, people, and water.
Perfect. That's a great example. Let's just go deep for a second. That is some great wisdom.
Deep.
Don't go all the way in there. Wow. We need some
now
personal
in
space.
Brain.
We're in personal space,
We're
friends.
in little
This
Lum's
is
brain.
socially isolated in there.
Oh, should I stand?
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, one thing that you can do if you are running out of ideas, and you can't even get to the brainstorm, like you said, I don't even know what to do here. Luke had a great idea. Literally, go outside, right? Maybe get away by yourself. You can go on a walk with somebody, but if you're by yourself, and then start to think about what you actually notice, right? What do you notice? You don't even have to be totally intentional about it. Like, don't go on a walk like, I am about to go out to notice things. No, don't do that. Just go outside and start to think about, what do you notice? Do you notice the sound of your shoes on the ground? Do you notice the birds chirping? Do you notice the breeze? Do you see the trees? Do you see the grass? Do you see the flowers? Do you see the cars? Do you see other people? Start to actually process and notice what you notice, okay? That's the thing then you want to go back to put into your central idea. So in fact, if you were on a walk outside and you noticed that it happened to be cold that day, well, just start with that. It's cold. So put cold as your central idea and begin to branch out and talk about what things relate to cold, okay? That's how you can even just get started with the idea itself. Good suggestion, Luke.
Luke Hawarda says that we need to leave room for Jesus, which I think that's plenty of room.
Yeah, that is a good idea. You got a little Holy Spirit gap there. Mm-hmm. That's what my wife and I always kept room for the Holy Spirit between us. Now, thumbnail drawings, like I said, typically a small drawing that I want to use to experiment with composition or arrangement of things on the page. And I'm going to keep this about 2 inches by 3 inches. I'm going to take no longer than about 5 minutes on each one. And if I've done something for 5 minutes and I haven't gotten anywhere, I've spent too much time on it. I need to go to the next one because apparently that wasn't working so well. So I'm going to do anywhere from 5 to 35 of these, okay? And you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of work. Yes, because when you run out of ideas, that's the time to get to work. That is literally the time to just knuckle down and get to work. Do the work, people, do the work. So thumbnail drawings. What are we doing with thumbnail drawings? We're generating compositional possibilities. We're not trying to draw the final thing. We're not trying to include every detail. We want to understand how the big shapes and the spaces should be arranged. All right. Once I have some thumbnail drawings to review and look at, I might take that, get some feedback from others. I might just decide, I really like this one I did right here. I like the way that works. And then I will move on to one of the final phases, which is called the prelim, the preliminary drawing. So I always talk about doing a preliminary drawing at about 50% of what you think the final drawing is going to be. Now, if your drawing or your painting is going to be huge, like 4 foot by 6 foot, then you can make a smaller one. You don't have to make, 3 by 2 prelim drawing. That would be inside of the membrane, okay? So keep your preliminary drawing reasonable. Don't make it too small, because if you do, you won't be able to fit all the tiny details. And you want to have all the detail. This is the blueprint, right? So this is the prelim drawing, which happens to be a blueprint. What is a blueprint? If you are familiar with architecture or engineering of some kind, you know that you have to have a detailed set of instructions for how the components will come together. And in your blueprint, you should have about 90 to 95% of the drawing figured out, so that by the time you create your final drawing, you really have a great understanding of its structure. All right? So
Skadoodler joined us.
Doodler!
You missed the doodle part of the video.
Yeah, I literally had notes and skadoodlers going. So, here, look. Notes and doodle. Doodles. Notes and doodles. Welcome. Glad you're here today. We're talking about tips for when you run out of ideas or you're just not inspired. Yeah. Dang. Dang is right. Dang it all. We made it to prelim drawing. Well, by this time, we're probably back in the swing of things. We're probably ready to rock. And that is a great creative process to actually, you can step through that. It's practical, right? It's not all that theoretical. It forces you to do something. And as we mentioned earlier, before you even get to this stage of an idea web or a brainstorm, and you're at a loss for ideas in general, get outside, take a walk. That's an option. What's another option? How about read a book? Watch a film that you love. Okay? Check out a video game or a YouTube video. Board game. Spend time with another human being. And do this intentionally with the purpose of, again, observing, looking, seeing, paying attention, and just noticing what you notice. The more you can be intentional about how you do this, the better. And that requires, again, not just work, but actual habits, healthy habits. So raise your hand if you brush your teeth in the morning. Raise your hand if you brush your teeth in the morning and in the evening. Ooh. You probably shouldn't have put that down so hard. Okay.
Comic relief, yes. My friend.
Now listen, some of you brush your teeth in the morning, after you eat, and at nighttime. These are great habits. I'm not judging you as to which one, but develop the habits that maintain a healthy lifestyle. And that works for your visual art. It works for your performance art. You need healthy habits. Things that you do without having to think about, that continue to build into your skill and kind of get your mind in the right setting. So there's something.
Do a few sketches every day.
Sketch every day.
Studies.
How do you get better at, Luke, let me ask you if you're still here. How do you get better at soccer? I don't even need to wait for this answer, but respond anyway. How do you get better at soccer? You play air day, right? Luke, is there a day that goes by that, especially in season, that you are not practicing or juggling a ball or thinking about or watching soccer? Really? No, there's not. I guarantee it. I know.
He hasn't even answered.
I know he hasn't answered. He doesn't need to.
That's practice.
I know he's wearing a jersey right now for some team.
And he just finished watching
soccer.
And
I know he just finished watching soccer that he pre-recorded, and he's still watching it. So if you are in a sport, you can understand, you practice, you put the hard work in, even when you don't feel like it. Nobody feels like running Mile Monday.
No. He says no, he's not.
He's not wearing you're not wearing a jersey?
He didn't watch soccer just
Lies.
now.
Lies. All of it. Okay. But you get my point, okay? My point is that you have to put the hard work in. And our friends in the athletic department really understand how that works. And I really want to encourage you in visual art and other disciplines that you too have to put the hard work in. You have to put the practice, and it should be daily. Don't let a day go by without practicing the thing that you love to do, all right? Even when you don't feel like it. Get out and do the hard work. So developing healthy habits for observation, getting outside, getting in contact with others, doing the things you love, but paying attention to what it is you love. If you don't know why you love a certain book or a movie, you better take the time to figure out why, because that is going to speak into your creative process and why you do the things you do, all right? So get outside, get some ideas. Have healthy habits, not just for your body, but for your mind and for your creative soul, so that you are filling up that tank each and every day. And you're doing things kind of rotely. Do you understand what I'm saying? Things happen just by nature because you have developed a habit. What do they say? About 3 weeks to develop healthy habits?
Something like that.
Something like that.
We're going to go with that.
So try drawing every day for 3 weeks. And then tell me, how hard is it to stop? You're going to be in that habit. You're going to want to do it. You're going to make it part of your life. And you can make anything, because I guarantee you have a Netflix habit or a Disney Plus habit, okay? You have a candy habit. Think of all the habits. You chew your nails. Are you drinking the Monster beverages? That's a habit. So find ways to reinforce these healthy activities like drawing every day. Maybe you reward yourself after you do a drawing. Spend 20 minutes on it. Reward yourself with a little piece of candy. And then you will start to form that habit over the course of 3 weeks or so. And then last, have a creative process. One that is easy to do, to lay out, that's functional. That includes maybe an idea web or brainstorm, notes and doodles, thumbnail drawings, and a preliminary drawing that brings you to the end of a project. And don't forget to finish the thing, okay? All right, I'm Lil That's my helpful tip of the day, or tips, whatever you want to call. Thanks for your ideas and thoughts. Let me know in the comments if you have things that keep you motivated when you lose ideas, or what does it mean to put in the work for you? Also, if you're watching this on Instagram live, thank you. If you're watching it on IGTV, share it with somebody who you think would enjoy it. And also, if you see this on the YouTubes, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell. So
Ding, ding.
If this has been valuable, then let me know and share a comment on how you manage your creative process. I'll see you mañana. Bye, guys. Later.